I'm muted. Hello and welcome back to Bushwhacker Weekly with Nick and Georgia. Hey Georgia, what's up?
You already muted yourself.
I start muted by default.
Oh my goodness. Hello everyone.
We are the active developers of the game Bushwhacker 2, Codename Entertainment's oldest running game. I am Nick, your programmer, designer, content creator, and community manager. And with me is Georgia. What's your role?
Draw pretty pictures, as always.
Selling yourself short. Selling yourself short. It's great stuff. And behind the scenes, we have Sasha moderating the chat. As always, there is the coupon code in the top left of the stream. Today is the code is Chimera Cubs cute. Chimera's Cubs cute. I'd add that S because numbers. Because we're gonna showcase the Chimera Cub coloring sheets that some of you had submitted last week. Let's take a look at see.
They're fantastic, I bet. I haven't seen them yet, but I know they're gonna be great.
Oh, fresh eyes. Here we go.
All right, let's start it off here. Who's the first one? Incredible Goblins!
Whoa! This one was submitted like an hour ago, by the way.
I love it. I love the Lion King nod in this. This is great.
Yeah, we got Pride Rock in the background.
I do have a very Disney-esque style when it comes to certain animals, so
you sure do.
This is fantastic. I also like. I'm not sure if they were going for like a hint of Ka from the Jungle Book. But that's kind of a neat little nod there too, with the rings in the eyes. That's very clever if that's what they were going for.
Good point. Let us know in the chat.
And I love the warm outlines, like not that black, but they have the black around the eyes to really make it pop.
Yeah, this is very, well, obviously. Well, very Lion King. Sorry, I looked at the hoof feet, and then with the lion body, it's just like, Simba doesn't have hooves! Oh, my brain!
What have you done? No, this looks fantastic. Incredible Goblins.
amazing.
I love how you've blurred it too to make the main focus here so clear.
Yeah.
And the dark border and the white, it really ties it in.
Yeah, really subtle border, like, aside from the black part, but just like, it's almost just like a camera lens. Don't want to distract too much from that sweet background and the main feature there.
Oh yeah, this looks fantastic. So crisp, so clean.
Incredible Goblin says all the colors are Disney quote unquote inspired.
Oh,
Suspicious? Also,
this is great.
that too does not have a green outline. Stands out.
Ooh, it's being rebellious.
Incredible Goblins. Is the snake? The snake, is that from the Jungle Book? The eyeballs there? Let us know. I phrased that question so well.
Yes, that was well done. I was going to give you an applause, but I didn't want to be that sarcastic.
Thank you. Indeed it is, he says.
Yes, nice.
Good
I
eye,
really
Georgia.
That's awesome.
Good eye.
These are all great. This is a nice balance of like Disney hints here and there, and again the colorful like blurred background looks great, and the dark and the white just perfectly bordering that, so the main focus is totally on the center. This looks absolutely incredible. Incredible Goblins. I think you outdid yourself.
And the line work there, change the color to match. That looks really good.
That's what I was saying. It makes it nice and warm. Yeah. It looks like a frame from the movie itself. You know, like an animation, especially like in Disney movies, they have that warmer outline matching the inner color. So it really does feel super Disney, which is cool.
Yeah, we better watch out. We might get flagged for copyright because of this. So
oh yeah, they might. Disney might be like, oh my god, this is too good. You guys got to take this out of here.
Fantastic, Incredible Goblins. Love it.
Jokes aside, this looks amazing. Thank you for this lovely submission.
Just a couple comments from the chat. We got, look at that. Wow. We got Simba. The snake also looks like Kaa from Disney's The Jungle Book. Lynx is the hero at the same thought.
Yeah.
Incredible Goblins also said never change, which I'm assuming is about my mute blender at the beginning of the stream. Dang made it took forever. Nice, Incredible Goblins. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, moving on to our next submission here by Jelly Snail. Ooh.
Whoa! Nice.
Going for a cool actual mythology type theme here.
Yeah,
Border
so Greek.
Background.
That's
this
cool.
Is really cool. And
Love
I
that
like
decision. Yeah.
They gave them little claws.
Oh, little beanos.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, just the choice to go with Greek, like the Greek theme, is amazing, and the way you've executed it is fantastic here.
And the gradients on the snake.
Yeah,
gradient. Really cool.
And some good shading going on here.
Yeah, I like the shading adds so much depth and the highlighting too.
Yeah, the highlights and lowlights.
And I like the palette too. This is a good palette.
It's good. Very beigey tan.
Yeah, and like all the colors are kind of like unsaturated. They're not like super bright.
Yeah.
So it really ties it in. Makes it kind of like earthy almost.
Yeah, yeah. Natural. Very natural feel.
They got a cool shadow under here too, which I
oh wow. That's a great detail.
Yeah.
Oh, that really like I've always had trouble with that with mine when I use a background to kind of make it feel like the creature's in the background, and you've done a great job doing that here. And orange eyes.
Yeah, for the snake. Yeah, those really pop with the dark browns and everything around it. We got the colored logo.
Oh, zoom in. Shout out to the logo. The true logo.
The logo. True logo. Oh, this looks very clean and crisp. Absolutely digging it. Awesome job, Jelly Snail. This looks great.
From the chat, we got this is great from Incredible Goblins. Ah, from KikiBW. Oh, well, that's that, right? No. This is Jelly Snail. Where am I? This looks absolutely fantastic from Lynx is the Hero. Color scheme and shading rocks. That is so awesome from Whacked Crafter. Palette reminds me of gold, silver, bronze. Oh, that's... Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like earthy, like metallic-y almost tones to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of got an interesting feel, I find.
That's very cool. Wax Crafter likes the two tones on the lion cub. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the grays and the whites and stuff. Also,
Jelly Snail, you made it! This is yours!
Arrived.
Just got here.
Sorry if anybody heard that. There was a FedEx guy at my door.
Rude.
I feel bad not answering and telling him thank you, but I'm on a stream.
I'm busy working! I mean, I'd excuse you. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm sorry. Usually I like to give them a little wave and a shout when they leave.
I think I interrupted you when Jelly Snail arrived. What were you commenting on?
Me?
Yeah, you!
I think I was just going to talk about the FedEx guy.
Oh, okay.
But this is fantastic and awesome. I mean...
Fantastic.
I really like the different color of Fantastic FedEx.
Oh, yeah!
The lighter pupils for the goat there.
Oh, and it's got like those... What's the zoom in on those eyeballs over there.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Is that supposed to be like the goat rectangle eye thing?
Yeah, it's got sideways pupils.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Jelly Snail. You did an awesome job.
Glad you made it to see your submission too. The shadows in the eyes are great.
Yeah, it gives it a nice depth.
This is good stuff.
All right. We moving on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our next one is by Julie.
Julie!
Gel pens!
Back at it with the gel pens. Look at that texture.
I love gel pen texture. I can spot it a mile away. It's like, oh, gel pens. And right off the bat, I'm noticing here with the snake, it has like a darker outline-ish of the green with a different color green on the inside. Kind of gives it like a stained glass kind of feel.
Yeah, it's kind of like a more tealy green too.
Yeah, same with the ribbing here on the belly. It's got like green and then lighter on the inside.
Yeah, it looks really cool. That green really pops.
It does really pop.
Good like garter snake color.
Yeah, it's nice because the lion and the goat, they're all kind of like browns and grays, and this bright green snake really like catches your eye.
I respect that distinction because they're like a different type of animal. Reptile versus mammal.
They're all just like basically plunked together in this weird amalgamation. So I really think that really captures it here with the snake and everything. That being said, they also did it on the horn.
Oh yeah, that looks great on the horns. Ooh. I love that beige. I don't know why.
It's a nice color. The brown is a really nice color. And the pink is so bright.
Yeah, the pink tongue.
And red, yeah.
I'm gonna give the goat blue eyes and the lion brown.
Yeah.
Some green. Very cool. Julia, I appreciate your signature too and telling us the medium.
Yeah. Gel pens. Oh, and it looks like the hooves have sparkly gel pens. I just noticed that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate all this high quality zooming. It's
yeah. I gotta zoom in to show everybody.
Let's see. Oh, Julie's here with Wax Crafter. Check it out.
Nice.
Jelly Snail, have you noticed the claws? Oh, was that on the other one? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, the claws. We pointed out the claws, yeah.
We did notice the claws, Jelly Snail. Julie and her gel pens. I love it from KQPW. Can't get tired of the gel pen texture.
No,
agreed.
Great.
Awesome pick. Hi, Julie. She says hi and thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the submission.
Yeah, this is great.
These colors are awesome. Yeah, another great color scheme. The more I look at it, the more I like the gray.
Yeah, it's a nice gray.
Yeah, and the texture just adds some like depth to it. Like it feels more furry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it kind of looks like fur with the texture.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
I think that's kind of cool having that like traditional medium, right? Which is harder to capture when you do it digitally.
Yeah, you'd have to. I don't know how you do it digitally, other than trying to like steal the texture and apply it on top.
You get like brushes or like overlays for textures and stuff. But seeing that nice traditional texture, I always find I can capture textures easier with traditional media, like painting or watercolor. It's easier and natural for me, as opposed to digitally. This looks fantastic.
Gold Krusty says the internet ruined me. I'm assuming that's referring to the medium.
Maybe.
Oh, Whackcrafter says the gray was supposed to have been a light tan color, but the scanner changed it to the gray. What?
Oh, weird.
What?
It's weird because all the other colors are so vibrant.
Yeah, they look
I would have
true.
picked that up. That's
Interesting.
bizarre.
I could see that being like a lighting thing too.
Yeah, I mean, everything else is so crisp with the colors. It's weird that that's the only color that kind of went a little wonky.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks good, though.
Fantastic, Julie. Thank you so much.
Amazing, Julie. Thank you.
Clap, 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 clap.
All right, moving on.
What do we got next? Moving on.
Kiki AR.
Kiki AR. Oh, I love the line work in this immediately.
This is really cool.
Oh, and that color scheme. They blended into the title too. And it's, oh, wow.
I really like this because, again, it's distinguishing the different parts of the animals and everything.
Totally.
We've got the traditional logo up there.
Yep.
But yeah, this looks great. I like how they're all so different. They make each other stand out immensely, which is really cool.
Yeah. This is fantastic.
The teals and the greens. Oh, it's great.
Doesn't need an elaborate background. Just
No.
The sepia. What would you call that in the back?
Vignette.
Vignette. Yeah. The vignette's all you need, and it highlights the great color and line work here.
And I like how, like you said, the colors are in the title there. They blend in. They really highlight both the drawing and the title. Really ties it in nicely.
And the selection of different colors for each type. Like the lion color has 3 or 4 different shades. Orange or pink.
Yeah.
Goat, same thing.
And the snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool that they had like palettes for each, but they used different types of tones and shades for each animal, which is really neat.
That's really cool.
And I like the gray outline. It kind of makes it a bit more softer, a bit more subtle.
Yeah, it took the edge off. Yeah.
Yeah, not so sharp.
Is that for around all of them, or are they?
Yeah. It's all around them, and then their pupils, I think, are the only things that are actually black, which really makes the eyes pop. Which eyes are incredibly important to me in artwork. I try to make them stand out as much as I can. Which they're doing a great job here.
Yeah.
I like how there's a bit of like red.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. It's like an inner outline.
Yeah.
Jelly Snail might try manual culling next time. Look forward to seeing it. Incredible Goblin says, nice pastels. This is very lovely and interesting. The color choices are neat. Yes.
They are. Yeah, I like how they're kind of like a lighter color too. Like they're not super strong. They're just kind of like almost pastel-y, you know?
Yeah.
Like a lighter color.
Dialed back, but still very vibrant.
Yeah.
Whacked Crafter loves the snake. It pops so, and the sand colors on the lion cub and the blue palette is awesome. Agreed.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic.
Yes, and more yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic job here, Kiki AR.
Yeah, Kiki, this looks amazing. I absolutely love it. Awesome job, and thank you for submitting. Moving on.
Whacked Crafter says, I would try gel pens, but Julie growls at me. All right, moving on.
Ooh,
oh, physical medium. Whoa.
Another gel pen by Nanaimo Island. Crayons and gel pen.
Crayons. Oh, yeah, I see the crayons.
Yeah, in the background, that gives it a cool texture. And
yeah, the background.
Blended in here.
Yeah, can you pinpoint what's gel pen and what's crayon?
Yeah, it looks like the entirety of the Chimera is gel pen, and it looks like the background is crayon.
Nice. Yeah, that crayon texture.
Yeah, the crayon, it gives it that kind of rough kind of texture, you know? It looks great for, like, separating the mediums from background to actual character.
That's super neat.
And I love the different, like, colors that they've used in here, and gives it, like, this cool, like, multicolored floor looking going on here. Yeah.
And I like consistent color palette between the background and the floor and the actual lion, and like it's like a blend of all of them together makes up the ground. That's cool.
This guy's bringing the Chimera all together and putting it in the background as well.
So cool. Those lion eyes are tripping me out.
Making them all like green. It's
just like neon green.
Yeah, they're really standing out from the rest of the lion being like purple and yellow, and you got these bright green eyes.
It's a cool earthy purple too.
It is. It's kind of like a champagne-y type, like a wine almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marlot, even, if you will.
Merlot. Sorry, had to say it in wine.
And I like the signature at the top here. And they specified what they used.
I like
really
that.
neat
I like that.
writing, Nanaimo Island.
Yeah, that penmanship.
Or Linda, I should say. This is
Linda.
very neat writing.
Fantastic. Oh, it looks like we have some color sampling at the bottom right there.
Yeah, it looks kind of like they were testing which colors would look, how they look. Because, like, if you look at a gel pen, sometimes the color looks different than in the little vial that it has. I've had that way too many times. So, like, this is a perfect orange, and it's, like, red. And I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, no, it's too late. Yeah.
There's no Control Z or back arrow.
That's the terrifying thing about the physical medium.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm like, I only do physical sometimes when I'm, you know, in a mood to not get frustrated easily.
It's a sign of expertise too to do that color sampling on the side. Makes me think of those when you have a painter's like hand thing that they have different. What do you call that?
A palette.
Is it just a palette? The physical thing, palette.
Yeah.
Palette board. That's cool.
Pretty sure it's just a palette board, unless maybe Am I dumb?
I mean, you definitely put like a palette on there, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm like, is it called a palette? I would use them so rarely.
Yeah, you're right. It's just I found a question phrased exactly like, what is the board called that painters used? And they're called a palette.
Okay, good. I was like, I'm an artist. I should know what this is called, and if I don't,
You do.
I'm embarrass myself.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Never doubt me, Nick. I'm always right. JK.
Most of the time, actually, yeah. I'll confess that. Comments. We got Waxcrafter. Using two mediums are great. So cool, Nana. Cute nickname.
Cute.
Crayons and gel pen. Yes. Purple and green are the best together. Oh. Yeah, that might explain the pop there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet another awesome color scheme. Also, is it just me, or does the snake remind me of the hissy monster that appears in the swamp areas? Oh.
It does, actually.
Oh. Good eye. Shiny gel does not pop out. Aw, that's from Nanaimo Island. Nanaimo, you're here! Good job. You don't think it pops?
I think it pops. I can see the shine.
I see it especially on the goat.
Oh, yeah, the goat looks like he's, like, super shined up, you know?
Almost, like, very furry. I get fur vibes from the goat.
Like, decked out in fluffy fluff.
Decked out. Combed. Probably the yellow scales and the red eyes are reminding me of them. That was regarding the snake. Jelly Snail says, I have a question for Georgia. How many layers would you use for coloring a design like this? I have about 10 plus and I find it hard to switch between. Whoa.
I am the worst person to ask about layers. I'm gonna be honest. I use way too many layers. In fact, the one I did a submission this time actually, and I added shading and highlighting, but I was easily up to like over 30 layers.
How do you manage them?
50.
Do you label them? Do you organize them?
Okay, I have the worst advice for layers. Don't trust my advice for layers. One of my biggest pieces has over like 2,000 layers, and none of them are named or categorized in folders.
Oh no!
So I'm actually certifiably insane. I think.
How do you know where to find the layer you're looking for?
I just have an inkling, and usually find the right spot.
Just sleuthing your way through your own.
Yeah, I am the worst when it comes to layers because I'm so OCD with like separation and everything. But for a simple piece like this, most people I know, they use like 10 layers plus is not unreasonable at all. That sounds pretty normal, actually. And what you can do if you're having issues is you can actually put your layers into groups. And I can show you guys how to do that if you don't know how to do that, to keep your layers more managed. I know my sister does that a lot when she does her coloring. I do not because I'm lazy, and then it usually bites me in the ass later, but I can show you guys how to do that if you're struggling with managing.
That sounds like a great art tutorial.
It is. It's very interesting and neat.
All right, we should do that after the news, huh?
Yeah, before we forget.
Yes.
That happens sometimes.
It does. Make a reminder. Unless it's quick. Do you want to just do it now?
Oh, we can wait.
Okay. All right. Whackcrafter says, "Ooh, I just remembered I have acrylic paint pens. We'll use those next time. That'd be great to see. We haven't seen it yet, I don't think. Where do you guys buy your gel pen? Asking for a friend."
I used to buy mine at Costco.
Yes,
But I don't know if they have them there anymore.
I'd go to Staples, or I'd Google art supplies near me. I actually think there's, knowing where Incredible Goblins is around, I think there's an art place down like just downtown, Fort maybe. I don't know.
Oh, are you thinking of Island Blue, or are you thinking
Oh,
of
I think
Opus?
Oh, Opus. I'm thinking of Opus. Yeah.
There's the ones that I go to are Island Blue and Opus. I haven't been there in a long time because I don't do a lot of physical art, but they usually have a good selection. But if you want to get like a whole bunch of gel pens, like a big pack of them, I used to, when I was little, my mom and dad would buy them from Costco.
Costco.
Huge, big packs of gel pens.
They would.
That's where me and my friends used to get them all the time. I'm not sure if they have them still, but they were a pretty good deal for how much you got if you just want them to like muck around with and everything.
There you go. Hopefully that helps. Cool. Thank you for your submission, Nanaimo Island.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Mixed
much.
medium, so cool.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got Whackcrafter. Whoa!
Whoa, Whackcrafter! This is bold.
This is bold. Wow.
Also, quick shout out to the Vertical True logo.
Yeah.
Mixing it up. This, I get like a chalky texture. Like,
yeah, it feels.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what word it is. This reminds me of something. Almost like when you do printmaking.
Oh.
When you kind of carve out and everything, that's what you can see, like some of the background, like the reds showing through. It just really reminds me of printmaking when you make a print, and sometimes you have a bit of the background, so it looks almost like a stamp to me, like
Interesting.
like a handmade stamp.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Who is this again? Whackcrafter?
This is Whackcrafter.
Whackcrafter, how did he get this texture?
Looks
kind
of like gel pens.
I thought Julie growled at Whackcrafter for using gel pens.
I don't know, it kind of looks pen-ish.
Did it in secret. Gel pen this in secret. Yeah, these colors are brilliant. Yeah, I really like those aqua hooves. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was looking at it, you can see like greens and reds in here.
Yeah, it looks very layered on. Like especially the lion body, you can see the yellow and red underneath it.
Yeah, you can see like lots of different colors in here.
Is that what you're saying? It's like they start off with just a flat red background and then layer on top of it for each piece?
For like the stamps?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember now, because I remember when I would make stamps myself, we would carve it out. So you would carve out the drawing. And then when I put it on, I wouldn't chisel away everything. So then you get that cool effect that you can see here with the red showing through. It almost looks like the background's bleeding through.
Oh, interesting.
Which gives it this cool effect.
Yeah. Whackcrafter says it's not a stamp, and they'll tell us if I put up vertical walls in the golf course. They're holding it hostage.
It's a secret for the ages.
No.
Either way, it looks really cool.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. Links is the hero says, bold, 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 love it.
It's very bold.
Kiki BW says, wow, act, it looks amazing. Super bold palette and love the texture. And Naimon says, brilliant colors. Wow.
I like the background a lot too.
And you've blown Incredible Goblins away. They say, wowza, what am I looking at? It is just a lot of color.
Yeah, these colors are so bold and bright. But I kind of like it. Like, background is so, like, it's got some texturing here and there, but I like how it's just mostly solid.
Yeah.
To really draw your eyes into these bright greens, yellows, and blues.
So striking. That's very cool.
That's very cool.
Incredible job here.
Yeah, amazing job, Whackcrafter. This turned out fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Moving on to the last submission, which is mine, so I won't have much to say about it. I went for traditional colors, and I was very lazy with the background.
I don't know. The gray helps. I think.
I like to do lots of art with just a gray background, so that I can focus on the actual thing that I'm coloring or drawing.
Oh my god, I love the gradient you've done with the snake.
Thank you. I tried to make it like the original pet.
Is the original pet gradiented too?
Yeah,
I just never know. Oh wow.
You didn't notice. I feel heartbroken.
Sorry, look at it for the animations.
For shame. No, you're fine. No, I had a lot of fun coloring this because I don't usually color the submissions, so it was fun to kind of just like play around and add some shading and lighting and everything.
Yeah, you've done that lighting. I can especially see it on the hooves. That like redder haze.
Yeah, like a warmy haze.
Where do you picture this creature being? Like, is it a sunset right now?
I usually like to do like warmer highlights and lowlights, only because I really like warmer color schemes and everything. So I usually actually do sunset-y type shading on most of my pieces, just to give it a default like kind of warm kind of color scheme.
Gives me flashbacks to your other coloring sheet submissions.
Yeah,
like I think the Nate one especially was also sunset-y.
Yeah. It's my favorite color scheme to work in, though I do work in other color schemes. It's not my only one. It's just the one I like most because I'm biased for like oranges and reds and yellows.
You got your own style.
Yeah.
So we got some oohs. Love the snake skin. Dang, that is beyond uber, Georgia. She feels like, who did this? It's really good. Simba vibes, yeah. Oh, Georgia, it's so beautiful. Love the snake. Super duper. Whackcrafter, I think Georgia is a graphic artist, ? Yep. I think you're right. Whackcrafter is asking, hey, Georgia, is that the program you talked about a few weeks ago?
What I did here? So, actually, I colored this in Clip only because it's easier to select. Also, thank you for all the compliments, guys. That was really sweet. And I did the shading and the gradients in Photoshop, specifically CS6, which is my favorite Photoshop to use. I find using the more modern Photoshops, they always have weird bugs and issues, like if you use, I guess, the cloud or the Adobe Cloud, it keeps updating it all the time. So I find that
Thanks,
this is
Adobe.
I know, right? Adobe's so bad with if it ain't broke, let's add a billion updates.
If it ain't broke, you need to monetize it harder.
Yep, exactly. So I use CS6, which I think is actually kind of old now. Like, let me actually look up when CS6 came out. Photoshop CS6. When did it come out? Why aren't you telling me release date?
Come on, internet.
No, don't give me when Photoshop came out. For Christ's sake.
Obviously,
like, it came
what you
out
wanted to know.
1990. I'm like, yes, the Photoshop I'm using is from 1990.
Whackcrafter says, I have a Photoshop program from 2007.
Oh, that's actually similar to a Photoshop program I used to use before switching to this one.
Incredible Goblin says 2012.
Yes, 2012. I just was going to say that, but they beat me to it. But actually, I would do similar shading and highlighting like this in a very old version of Photoshop, which wasn't even a full version of Photoshop. I used to use Photoshop Element 7, which came out in, I think, 2005.
Whoa.
So I could still do stuff similar to this in that Photoshop as well. So you should be able to do these types of things in Photoshop. It's just all practice and learning what works for you and everything. But that is the program I did this in.
Cool. Kiki's asking if you prefer Photoshop over Illustrator.
I do.
truth.
Illustrator is difficult for me only because each line is like its own separate object. And though Illustrator gives you really crisp lines and everything, like for doing vectors, it's amazing because you can blow it up or shrink it down and it doesn't get pixely. Whereas with working with Photoshop or Clip, they will get pixely because it's a different type of program.
Yeah, it's raster versus
vector. Yeah.
Thank you.
So with vectors, there's been so many times I'm like, man, I wish I could do my outlining in Illustrator, then move it into another program, but that can be pretty finicky.
Right.
And a lot of times I don't have the time for it. So I really do like how crisp you can get your lines in Illustrator though, because like when you do get a nice line, you're like, oh my god, I wish I could do that with my hands.
Yeah, no kidding. Whackcrafter says you are dating yourself, Georgia. Jelly Snail's asking if you work on a Cintiq.
I do. My Cintiq is from, I think, 2016 now. Still works perfectly fine. I haven't had any issues with it. But I know I've heard from people that the newer Wacom products aren't as good as some of the older ones. So I'm not sure if I just lucked out and I got one that was, before they started kind of doing that.
The golden age.
Yeah. I can't remember what mine is, like a 21-inch maybe or something. But yeah, that's what I use. I use a Cintiq and I have it up actually built into a animation desk. So it's like I've got it setting up like I'm actually animating, like an animator
cool.
would. Yeah, it's really good because I don't have to like bend over as much. I mean, you still bend over, like if you're an artist doing stuff, you're gonna have like the spine of a shrimp, but like it's not as bad as I used to have it before. Before when I had it, it was pretty hokey the way I had it set up.
But you still have your box set up basically, right?
Oh yeah, I still got my box. Yeah, right now, if you guys hear any loud noises from my end, it is probably from my footrest, which is a worn out shoebox right now.
Like how you're describing.
I've got to describe it. They got to know what these loud noises are.
Just the pro Illustrator setup and then this.
Yeah, I got my I don't know, $2,500 computer setup, and then I have a shoebox for my footrest. And the computer chair that's falling apart.
And your other monitor is too far away.
Yeah, it's too far away. It's like a 3D tilted monitor thing. It can go like 180 stuff. I don't know, I barely use it because I'm over by my tablet all the time, but yeah, my chair, let's see if you guys can hear it.
Oh, loud and clear. Yeah.
Oh yeah? This chair is it's got like a split in the scene.
It's like you're on a creaky boat.
Yeah, it's not even like a good office chair. It's one of those small ones that you see in TV shows where the office folk have them. The smaller ones.
The office folk.
The office. And one day
they're a different breed.
They're a different I found screws that had fallen out of the chair.
Oh god, and it's still standing?
God. Yeah.
For now.
I put him back in because I'm I don't want to fall on my butt while I'm working. That'll be really frightening and not good.
JPL says Cintiq is 5 in Italian. Fun fact.
Oh.
Wildcraft needs a better program for their embroidery program so they can do more detailed pictures. I wish you luck. I cannot offer advice.
I can offer a little advice.
Hit it.
I know that since my sister does plush making and patches and all that, the software that she uses, which is more of a high-end software, so it can be a little pricey, she uses Bernina. And that's one of the better programs for doing it. You do similar vectoring in it and everything. But she uses that and it's really good. It's one of the more higher end programs. Their sewing machines go for a lot of money, $17,000.
Oh, can you spell that for Wildcrafter?
Bernina? I think it's BERNINA.
That's what Jelly Snail says. Good.
Yeah. It's a pretty good sewing company. They're very high end. They make a lot of good sewing machines. They go in the thousands and thousands of dollars.
Whoa.
The one that my sister was looking at next was 17 grand, I believe.
Wow.
Which they're very
Wow.
high end. Like, you can actually like draw on these machines. They have like tablets built into them and everything.
That does sound worthy of the price. It's got a computer in it.
Yeah, like my sister has used both Bernina and Janome, but she prefers Bernina.
They're asking, so they have a design program? Because the one I use is stupid.
I mean, my sister designs stuff in Photoshop and then transfers it to the Bernina program to actually make the designs for the embroidery that she's doing. I can't give you too much more info on that because I have no idea how she does it. I just know what they are and how she initially does it, but not the like tiny little details.
Well, I'm sure that's helpful. And Jelly Snail says they use a slide pad on their laptop, and it's a pain. Oh, the trackpad?
Oh, yeah, the trackpad.
Was the bane of everything.
My dad hates his trackpad. He yells at me. I'm like, just stop.
Why is he yelling at you for his trackpad?
Sometimes he's too lazy to get his mouse because it'll be somewhere else and he doesn't know where it is. So he'll be using the tracker. He's like, this is ridiculous. I can't get it to blah, blah, blah. So I have to come over and help him.
I'm not surprised. I have one of those cool Logitech keyboard trackpad combos.
Oh.
Because Missy and I got a cool setup where we got a couch in front of our two separate TV PC machines. So the combo really helps keep the cords under control. Oh. However, it kind of encourages me to play games using the trackpad on the keyboard, and then we play like RTSs with my friends, and they grill me afterwards when I confess I was using a trackpad. It's like, that's
oh no,
it's not what it's for.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah. Let's transition to the next segment.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da. I'm just gonna let the people in chat know. It's news time. That's how they'll know.
That's how they'll know. That's all they'll know.
Bam. Semi-deranged parrot. The code is for a Quester satchel, so it's got random cool stuff in it. I hope you get something good. So thank you all for your submissions. Those were fantastic. I hope you found Georgia's art counseling very useful. Counseling? That'll work. That's a word. That's appropriate.
That's a word. You can use that.
Yeah. So, the Endless Dungeons mini event, also known as the Lost Woods. Did we spoil it was the Lost Woods? JPL's asking, how's the Lost Woods coming? Did we talk about that?
I have no idea. I can't remember. That was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I was going to hint at it anyway. Yeah, it's the Lost Woods. So, the Endless Dungeons mini event is so terribly close. I've actually forced Georgia to play through part of it. You didn't? How did you know, JPL?
Wait, well, how did they know?
Anyway, well, yeah, it's the Lost Woods. So we thought it was a really good fit for a mini event of the dungeons, because if anyone knows, you're playing Ocarina of Time, and I think it's in a few others too. There's an area called the Lost Woods where you just go from you go through a giant log door, you enter, you're in a small area, you move to the next one. These are very small areas and they're just connected, and you get lost, and it's weird and it's winding. So we thought that'd be a cool way to do an Endless Dungeons kind of tester. So I've been working really hard this week on a kind of Endless Dungeons light version, which is the Lost Woods mini event. I was so hoping to have it out on Wednesday, and then that slipped to Thursday, and then that slipped to today. And I got Georgia to play it today, as I said, and it's coming together. There's just a few little nitpicks that I want to iron out, so I think it's going to have to wait till Monday.
Wah, wah.
Wah wah indeed. Everyone give me a wah wah. I'm so stoked to get you in there. Lynx is the hero. I was thinking you'd like it because of the Zelda influence, obviously. But that'll take us to Spring Garden event, which will start next Friday. So, yeah, I'll I'm at least gonna work a little extra just to make sure it's ready for me to hit the go button on Monday. Doesn't look like anything's gonna go wrong, but this touches into the Endless Dungeons touches a few different systems, more than a few, and that's what I'm concerned about, just letting it go for the weekend. Because the more systems it touches, the more things that could go wrong. Even though I've tested it and made sure that things are working okay, I want to be there to baby it. So hopefully early on Monday morning, I'll get that going, and then you can all get your hands on it. I'm so stoked. It's fun. It's like a light version, so there's so many more things I wanted to do with it and include, which I will hopefully be able to include in the more fuller version, which will be for the Endless Flux, which is going to be much more robust. So this one won't have the cost scaling that I was talking about. It'll just be a huge series of cool dungeon areas strung together with a little bit of story, some characters to meet. It looks really good. Cool. JPL, I'm sorry. JPL says, no! Release today, please! Yeah. It's the Lost Woods were also in A Link to the Past. Thanks as Links to the Hero. That's cool.
And they were in Twilight Princess.
And Twilight Princess. And in Breath of the Wild in a different format. They reimagined it for Breath of the Wild. I had fun with that one. Yeah, so super sorry I haven't gotten that out, but I didn't want it to go boom boom while I wasn't watching. And yeah, it's almost there. And it'll be a great weight off because this mini event is like the field test for a lot of the tech that's going to be in the Flux one. So a lot of that groundwork is laid out in this one. And then George has almost got all the art done for the prismatic. So with that, I'll get the Endless Dungeons out. I'll get Spring Garden locked and loaded. And then I'll just be focusing on the Endless Flux in the next update. Yes, hashtag sad trombone. Yeah. That was JPL. Abru Brown says, if there are glitches, you can fix them during the week. They say Monday is good. Thank you. Sympathy. Incredible Comes says, news time. Get your news here. Yeah, so Endless Dungeons mini event on Monday. Spring Garden event. Next Friday, that includes the famed garden screenshot contest. So couldn't hurt to start planning out your gardens early. Because for those of you who don't know, I imagine most of you do, that contest is for the bush bucks. You get that primo currency. It's good stuff. And also, in Codename news, there are 2 new shows we've added to our Twitch streaming schedule, which might interest you, Bushwhacker folk. The first one is the Sketching Hour. It's another art stream. It's hosted by Lauren, who's the company community manager. And it's where scene artists Alexis, who has done art for Bushwhacker 2 in the olden days, and Michelle, an artist for Champions, they sketch together live. What's the program called? Do you remember?
The program?
Yeah, they use a fancy program that lets them like draw together on the same screen. Cats used it with them too. I forget what it's called.
Shoot, I'm drawing a blank. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, it's a really cool program.
Like let's artists do like draw piles and that kind of stuff.
Is that what you call that? Draw piles?
Draw pile? Yeah. You call it a draw pile.
I used to do those in high school a lot. They're fun. Yeah, so you got to watch them draw together based on a random prompt. They pick 3 random words, 1 adjective, 1 monster, and 1 animal from like a list that they ask for suggestions from the community. Oh, Senior Game says it's Magma Studio. Thank you. Shout out to that program. It's really cool. Draw piles are cool. And they do such great artwork. And Lauren the whole time is kind of weaving it into like, this will be a monster in like a D&D game. So that's cool. Whackcrafter says, nice Link. My wedding was Zelda themed. That's cool.
Ooh.
Nice. Before I continue, do we have any comments from the community? Whackcrafter says, hey Nick, are you finding out why the catch craft eye is being stupid and not showing up in cooldown on quest and days, or in quests for days and days after it's ready? No, I'm not awares. I've been kind of skirting my ticket responsibilities while I work on the Lost Woods, so I'll get back to those. So I'll take a look in that. I kind of shot myself in the foot the way I designed it with how it's hooked up into the Town Criers stuff, because it's like a multi-part quest. I thought I had it all sorted out, but maybe I made it worse, so I'll take a look at that. Sorry about that. If you haven't submitted a ticket about it, please do, with your details on it, and I can have a look-see. I think I remember looking and seeing Eva Brown has posted a few times about it, or created tickets about it. Whackcrafter loves Zelda. I've been playing it since 1996.
Hell yeah.
Was that the original?
No, Nick.
What was in 1996? Was that?
That would have been Ocarina of Time.
Oh, wow.
No, the original was from the 80s.
Whoa.
That was my first Zelda, but I can't take any credit to that because I was 2 years old. Have I told this story on here?
Maybe not. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to tell it again anyways. I'm sorry if I have, but I've been technically obsessed with video games since I was 2, where I would play Zelda, or at least thought I was playing Zelda, and my dad would hand me the controller that wasn't plugged in, and he'd be playing the actual controller.
That's what you do to your little brother.
You'd be like, oh, you did it! You beat the moblins! I'm like, yeah! And I didn't do shit, so...
I've tried to play video games with my niece and nephew, and it's pretty awful sometimes, so I don't blame them for doing that.
I mean, I learned how to play games when I was 4, at least. I used to play Donkey Kong Country and Mario World. Game. Yeah, when I was 4, and I'm like, wow.
No wonder you're so good at video games.
Well, it's amazing. Like with kids in that certain age range, if like they're learning at such a rapid rate, which is why a lot of like younger kids like in a certain age range are so good at video games because their eye-hand coordination and cognitive skills are just like peaking.
Yeah, they pick it up so fast.
Yeah, so it's always like awesome to see. Like it's also really good for kids like learning and puzzle solving to play video games. I mean, I'm not condoning you should sit your kid in front of the TV for hours and hours and hours playing video games, but like certain video games that offer kind of a challenge and everything, they help with the learning process and like problem solving and memory. It helps with your memory, eye-hand coordinative skills. And
a lot of time too, creativity with the Minecraft craze. It's a very expressive outlet.
Even like other video games, like I know one artist on Twitter, his whole inspiration for wanting to become an artist, and he's really good at it, was playing Crash Bandicoot. From how colorful the graphics are and like how it kind of looked like if a cartoon were a video game. Whoa. So video games can also be super inspiring too. Passion fueled. Also, I gotta say, I love playing Sea of Thieves with my 9-year-old nephew. He gets very distracted, and I do a lot of the work. Me and his dad were playing it, and oh my goodness. With his cousin as well, who's I think like 12, and it was me and my brother-in-law like taking care of the shit, making sure it wasn't sinking, and like lugging all the stuff around while the kids are just like sometimes helping and like, I'm in the crow's nest. Oh, I died. Can you save me? I'm gonna go on the mountain. Can we leave now? It's like, we haven't dug out any treasure yet. What are you doing? It's like, you're not being a very good pirate. He's freeloading pirates. Yeah, he's just like, you do the slave work. I'm gonna just stand up here and look cool. Yeah, still fun. Oh wow, you sent everyone off on the nostalgia trip. Whackcrafter still has all the games in their consoles. Link's the Hero practically grew up on the series. First Legend of Zelda game was Ocarina of Time. Same. That's still probably one of my top Zelda games, because that was, I think, the first Zelda game I actually played through it. So many big moments too. You and I were talking after the last stream about how Breath of the Wild just didn't have those big moments. Like, Yeah.
I'll never forget the fear I had going into the Shadow Temple.
Oh my
that
god,
rocked,
don't even get me
that
started.
rocked me.
It's like creepy in a good way. Like you're like, I don't want to be here, but still the scariness kind of wants me to go forward. Like
It's neat.
I kind of like being spooked. It's weird.
Oh yeah. That's why we have to play Phasmo.
Oh yeah, I really want to play that.
Spooky game.
I have actually been giving, because for those of you who don't know, I was not a big fan of Breath of the Wild. Only because I felt like there was a lackluster amount of actual weird, wacky Zelda-ness, I guess. Which is what I love Zelda for. So, but I'm going back, I'm giving it another shot. And I
getting
got really
100%
mad.
completion, like very few players will.
100%. Yeah, I'm getting all the Korok seeds. I was telling Nick earlier today that last night I had forgotten all the controls. So I was in the water and I was trying to do something, and then I threw my sword in the water and it went away forever. And I'm like, no!
Bye! Bye, sword!
I'm like, well, that was my own fault, but I'm going to be mad about it.
Yeah.
That being said, though, the map is so big. It's way bigger than I remembered. But I think for I'm really excited for the second Breath of the Wild, because if they can add more temples, more variations to the temples, and some other cool, wacky Zelda stuff in it.
Yeah, just to make them feel less copy-paste with the shrines and stuff,
Like, I totally get it. Like, experimentation is necessary to actually iron out any kinks or, like, do any trials, which is totally what they were doing. Like, they wanted to really experiment that sandboxy feel.
Yeah, and I think it's a great game in total. Just a departure from the original one, so we'll see how they iterate on it.
Traditional Zelda with newer Zelda, because I miss getting like the weird weapons or the weird things that help you progress.
Spending like 2 days getting the Goron sword, and you're like, cool.
Or the hook shot. I'm like, just give us some cool Zelda stuff. But if they could like blend the two, like offer that open world and adventure feel, like you're actually traveling in this giant place called Hyrule, and then adding all those like wacky villains or wacky characters in general, and kind of flesh it out a bit more, I think they'd have a really, really good Zelda game. We'll
see what we get. So we have 6 minutes, so I'm just going to churn through the rest of our news here. Bobby says, I missed a question. Will you have extra prizes for Spring Gardens because all of us are on a single platform? Like last year, there are extra community prizes. I think we give out 4 community prizes or something to kind of tap into the fact that people have migrated from multiple platforms. So same as last year, which does factor in that there are more people here on the single platform. And back to the new shows I was talking about. The second one is called Developer Insights, hosted by CNE co-founders David and Justin. You saw David Whitaker on a couple streams ago here in this stream with me. He's a co-founder. He does a lot of tech work. He does some design work. And Justin, you all remember Justin. He used to be the lead on this project, Bushwhacker 2. And he's basically the design lead for the entire company at the moment. So during this show, they basically share their wisdom. They have lots of experience game developing through their time with DJ Arts Games and Codename. And you can ask them questions and stuff.
And they're just awesome in general.
And they're just great people, yeah. They had their first run of that, I think, yesterday. And apparently they had more questions than they bargained for. So it's hot stuff. Check it out next time. So yeah, check out those two on the CNE Twitch channel. I think they're Sasha might be able to correct me. I think are they both on Thursday? Are they both on Thursday? I don't remember.
I don't know, Nick.
I don't know. Is the code wrong? I redeemed it. I thought it worked. Let me know if anyone else is having problems with the code. And if you are, just submit a support ticket in Bushwhacker 2. Code works. Okay. Yes, both those shows are on Thursday. If I miss any questions here, any of your feedback, remember you can always post on the forums or email bushwhacker2support@codenameentertainment.com and I'll answer there. I think someone said I was speaking in tongues when I was talking about the Lost Woods. I was very, very rambly about it. Least I could do is spoil that a little bit more. Hey, Whackcrafter says Bushwhacker, Breath of the Wild is the only Zelda game that he has not finished nor wanted to finish. So you're not alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. I can't remember how many hours I put into it, but I got it in May, I think. Actually, when I started working for CNE, it was the same month they started, because I remember I was trying to get a Switch desperately, and they didn't have them anywhere.
Sad.
And I finally got one. I lucked out. I just went to EB Games. I'm like, do you guys have Switches? Because, we're used to no.
Disparagingly.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got some in the back. And I'm like, what? So we picked one up. We picked up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And we already had Breath of the Wild. We pre-ordered that. And I think I stopped playing it and hadn't touched it since June the following year. So that was 2017 was the last time I touched the game.
Wow.
And so now I'm trying to go back. Yeah, I'm trying to go back and play through some games that I didn't finish, because I'm a huge completionist person, which is why I can resonate with so many of you Bushwhacker people wanting to get that 100% completion with everything.
Yeah.
So I've gone back, and it is a fun game, but some things can be kind of tedious. And again, it doesn't have that Zelda-y feel enough to me as much as the other installments. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the second one. If they can blend that, that would be awesome. Plus, if Ganondorf's in it, then I'm just going to throw my money at them, because he's my favorite character anyways.
He's a cool dude.
They keep making him really handsome, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So.
Charming, powerful villain.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm like, oh my god, his hair's so beautiful.
Oh, and Hyrule Warriors, they really made everyone pretty.
So handsome. Like, I liked him before that. But then when I saw that, I'm like, okay, you guys are doing this on purpose.
He's a model there, yeah.
He's gorgeous, and he's like 7'9".
Whoa.
I'm like, he could literally pick me up and throw me into the sun if he wanted.
Like a football.
I know. I'm like, what a strong, evil man. That's tight.
That's a quote there. Okay, we have 1 minute. Georgia, could you draw something like this in Illustrator? Oh, couldn't something like Adobe Illustrator automatically draw those lines that you're doing? I think they're also asking, is this some kind of dragon?
It is a dragon. It is the mount from last year's Spring Garden event. The Spring Dragon, which I actually really like that mount. I had a lot of fun drawing it. As for Illustrator, I'm not sure. All the lines that I've done in Illustrator have had to be done by hand, but when you draw in Illustrator, those lines aren't perfectly straight. So I will show an example here. If I were to draw a curve, because basically Illustrator is like a mathematical type art program. So if you draw a curve like that, sometimes it will look like that. Other times it'll have like weird blotches in the line work, kind of like this. Especially if you do something like this. Gross. Usually it'll fill it in like this. And then what you have to do is you get like little anchor points.
Could you move to the right?
Is that better?
There, yeah, thanks.
And then you get little anchor points. And what those anchor points do is they can either move one side of the line in or out. I know this probably doesn't make much sense. The way
Bezier curves. Math.
Bezier, yeah, I hate them. I hate them. So basically, when you're drawing in Photoshop, one line is like, it could be continuous like this, and it just looks like that. Whereas like in Illustrator, you wouldn't be able to do a line like this without it filling in, because it can't pick up all those curves. Which, I do like Illustrator for some things. Like when you draw a line in Illustrator, it's its own object. So if you draw a little cross over top of it, you can move that cross like this way or this way without it affecting this line. Whereas in Photoshop, this is all on the same layer. So you can't actually move this without, affecting this line here. If that makes sense to y'all.
Interesting.
I'd probably be able to do a better tutorial on Illustrator, but...
Yeah. Let's save that for next time. We are out of time.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in wanting to see how vector program works, for those of you who want to know how vectors work and the difference between a painting program, let us know. and I could do a quick Illustrator tutorial if you guys are interested. Also, we'll do the grouping tutorial.
Yeah, the grouping thing, we didn't do it!
Ran out of time, but the grouping tutorial will be really handy for those who are having trouble keeping track of layers and want an easier way to look at them and find them.
Cool. Stay tuned for that. Reason to tune in next time. So, this is all we have time for today. Thank you all for tuning in. It was our pleasure to hear from each of you. Thank you all for your submissions. Those were fantastic. And look forward to the mini event starting on Monday, and then the major event, the Spring Garden event, on Friday. Sorry I couldn't get that out earlier, but we want to make sure it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
Skill testing question, Georgia. Where can they find the coloring sheet?
Oh my god, why do I always fail? It was the media page?
That's right, and the media page.
I did it! Yes!
You can see Nightbot's been posting that here. Push codenameentertainment.com, page equals Bushwhacker2, tab media, coloring.
Why can't I remember that, Nick? It's the easiest thing to remember.
I don't know.
I'm like, it's either media or blog. Why can't I remember? It's just media.
Just roll the dice, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned for this, the Flower Dragon?
Yes, Flower Dragon.
On the social media channels, Facebook and Twitter, and on the media page. Thanks again. Georgia, thank you for the sketch. Thank you, Sasha, for moderating the chat. And the routine thank yous. Thank you, Dylan, for setting up the tech for the stream. For Champions and Crusaders for inspiring us to join the channel. For Eric for pushing us to make it happen. And shout out to Erica and Kat for trailblazing this stream format for Crusaders. And to stream gurus Margaret, Sean, and tech wizard David. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Happy whacking, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.